This SBU Libraries tutorial covers how to evaluate articles you have found through the library website to see if they will work for your paper or project. Here are some things you should think about when you're evaluating potential articles or sources. First, how current is the article you're evaluating? Look at the date along with the other publication information. This article was written in 2015. As a general rule for healthcare research, you generally want to avoid publications older than 10 years and really want to aim for publications within the previous 5 to 7 years. The newer the article, the better. This ensures that you are citing the most recent and pertinent information available. Next, you want to consider how relevant the article is. When looking at the subjects the article has been tagged with, make sure that these are the same subject headings you used when you were looking for the article. Are they synonyms or related terms to your search terms? To ensure that this article is a good match, several, if not a majority of these search terms would need to match your topic in order to have a relevant article. Next, is the article appropriate for your topic? You are able to assess this by reading over the abstract. The abstract should give you a good idea if the article will fit the subject and the scope of your assignment. Additionally, if the abstract is easy to understand while presenting new concepts, it should be within the scope and the coverage of your paper. However, if the language of the abstract is difficult to comprehend or goes into extreme detail, the article is most likely outside of the scope and is not an appropriate article for you to use for your research. Next, you want to look at the accuracy and the authority in the article. Some of this information will be available for you to access right here on the main page. However, some of it you'll have to actually go into the full text of the article. First, you want to look at who wrote the article and what are their credentials. The author will always be listed up at the top, and the main author will be listed first. If you click on their name, the majority of the time it will show you what other articles that author has written. It should also list the affiliation for that author. So this author, this is their affiliation, and it shows you that they publish out of Brazil. So that tells you that they're not going to be a local author, they're not going to be a United States author, but they do publish prolifically, and they also publish internationally. It's going to tell you that this is a journal article, and then if you go down here to this journal subset, it's going to tell you that that journal publishes double-blind peer-reviewed, it's got an editorial board, and it's got an expert peer-reviewed. So that's going to tell you that that journal is going to be considered a scholarly work, and that's very important when you're looking into your journal articles. Not all of that information is always going to be listed here. Sometimes you have to look at what your journal article is, or your journal publication is, and then do a little investigation work into your journal article. Okay, so then the next thing that you want to do is you want to find out what kind of writing style that your author has. So you really want to make sure that your article is free of grammatical errors and make sure that your author cites their sources and how their research was conducted. And you're not going to be able to find that out from the main page, so you will actually have to go into the full text article, and you can do that by looking over a cursory reading of the article to make sure that the article is going to meet your needs. Additionally, related to the authority and its purpose, think about why this article was written. Was the article written in an objective manner, or was it written in a biased or prejudiced manner that tries to persuade you in one belief or another? When using a research article, it's important to only use objective, non-biased information that's used for informational purposes only, so that you as a researcher will be able to make up your own mind as to the information contained in this article. The last thing that you need to do when you're considering an article is to evaluate it for the criteria outlined by your professor. If your professor has given you additional items beyond this list, you're going to want to make sure that the article meets those requirements before you decide to select this article for your assignment. So thinking through these areas, currency, relevance, accuracy, authority, and purpose, make sure that these will help you decide if the article is one that you want to use. If you're still not sure if an article or other type of information is a good source, you can always use your research librarians by going up to the top of the page and using the Ask a Librarian link.